All right, kid, let's get a 5 second countdown. Looks like everything's ready to roll. You ready?
Yep.
All right, here we go. Five, four, three, two, and one. What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining us here on the Welcome On Podcast. I'm your host, Famous Garnet, and I'm joined by my co-host Cube.
What it do, y'all? What it do?
And in today's episode, we have quite a slate of things to talk about. We're going to talk about, once again, the baseball transfer portal strikes again, but on a good side of things. So we'll talk about what happened with that. The basketball team is officially on campus. Well, most of them are. We're still waiting for a couple guys to get here, but most of the guys are here, ready to go. And South Carolina had a big weekend for Gamecock football recruiting. Obviously, we're going to break how that went. And there's a couple of events coming up that we need to talk about as well. Q, let's go ahead and we're going to start on the diamond. And Q, I tell you what, man, South Carolina, I know things need to be better as far as coaching goes, but they did get a sliver of good hope when it comes to that baseball team, and that is getting a great pitcher from Wake Forest. The guy that hits on, sits at 96, 95, 93 miles per hour. I mean, he's got great velo, right? And I'm talking about Josh Gunther from Wake Forest. I mean, right-handed pitcher, strong arm, has 2 years of eligibility left, depending on what happens with him. Obviously, we saw a lot of guys regress from the year prior. So obviously have that in your mind, but looking at that Q as a whole, the guy posted a 3.41 ERA, 47 strikeouts in 29 innings in 26 appearances this season. If he can maintain himself and he doesn't lose himself from whatever happened last year, right, at South Carolina, that's a great pickup. That is a solid arm. What are your thoughts on that, Q?
Nah. Baseball perspective wise, as everyone knows how I feel outside of that, baseball wise is a huge pickup. This class in general has been a huge pickup, in my personal opinion. This class has gotten a lot of bats. You've got a mixture of talent. You've got a lot of different situations that have gone on. I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this group. I personally am a fan of this group. So um I'm interested to see how this plays out. I'm interested to see how this class finishes. Do we still have people that we're going to lose? Do we have all those different things? I'm kind of curious on what that looks like and what that entails.
Mm-hmm. And obviously there's still time to go. We'll see how that ultimately plays out. I mean, there's still time in this portal. There are things that are happening. There are moving parts. I mean, there's so much going on right now, Q, that we need to finally finish. See how it all finishes up, of course. But it's a great get nonetheless. In that time from when we recorded last time, I think Henry Kazmar entered the portal. That's a significant loss. I mean, he's one of your better batters. He was hitting a 3.15. For South Carolina, 0.315 for South Carolina this past season. He's one of your better hitters. So that sucks that he's going into the portal. We'll see what happens with that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anything can happen. You can always return, of course, but losing Kaz is not the best way to end things in the portal, at least for now. So, like I said, we'll see how all this goes. I mean, that is a great arm, though, out of the portal. I mean, just a massive get for South Carolina's bullpen. So, like I said, we'll really see how that finishes up. And I'm also optimistic. I think they'll get a couple more guys out of that portal. They have to do a lot, but we'll see. Moving on to basketball. Most of the guys are in town. South Carolina did get a special visitor, though, this weekend, and that was Donovan Mitchell from the Cleveland Cavs. He was out there with Kerry Rich and Lamont Paris down at the Coliseum, our old stomping grounds, the old Coliseum, before they took it away from us.
I love the Coliseum, man. I love the Coliseum, man. Everybody love the Coliseum, bro. Everybody love it. It was good to have him in town, man. That was good to have him in town, a pro around. It was good to see Donovan Mitchell, around our guys, especially with everybody moving in. We're getting ready for a new season, a new situation. One thing I do know is Lamont is excited, bro. I'm telling you guys, Lamont's really excited about what's going on in that program this year that's coming up. I really, 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 really think we have some good things on the horizon, really, when it comes to Lamont and what he's got going on. I'm a big believer in it. I'm a big believer in what's going on. I'm a big believer in seeing how this kind of plays out. So I think we have a chance. We have a chance this year to make some noise and do a couple things different. But I think the biggest thing is we just have to keep fighting, keep working, and gel as a team. I think that's huge. Gel as a team, saw some pictures of them actually, doing some things as a group, a unit. The biggest thing we need to do, we sound as a team. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah. That's yeah. There's a lot of things that can be done. So we'll see. Like I said, as time progresses, I mean, this team is going to gel. It's just it's going to take that time, and we'll see what happens. Right? There's a lot of newcomers, but I think that South Carolina will get this thing figured out this season. I mean, you've got some great players that we've added from the portal, and of course your newcomers, guys like Grant Polk, Eli Ellis, things of that nature. I believe Q's having some technical difficulties on his end, so we'll wait for him to get back before we get into the next subject, and that is going to be Gamecock football. Things I do want to talk about while waiting on Q to get back to South Carolina. Well, for Q to get back to South Carolina, but for Q to get back on the stream, I will say this: I did participate in Banana Ball the other day. Savannah Bananas were in the Queen City in Charlotte, North Carolina. I took my son out there. Not really know what to expect. And I got to tell you what, man, it was a fun time. If you were a fan of, the Harlem Globetrotters, right, in the NBA, obviously a lot more going on in the Savannah Bananas games, a lot more. But it's kind of that same kind of feeling, right? You know what I mean? It's not a real game. There's special rules and things of that nature, and they're having a blast, and the kids are having a blast. And it's just a great family time. Right. The thing I will say that I was most disappointed with was the lines for the merch for Savannah Bananas, because good Lord, man, the merch lines were insane. I mean, I'm pretty sure we stood in a line for about an hour. But on the other side of things, though, they did have a beer for the Savannah Bananas, which was incredible. If you're a beer guy, a craft beer guy, by the way, it was really, really good. It was some kind of banana style beer. And it was really good. It was really, really good. So shout out to the brewery that did that. That was really good stuff. I will say this too, man. Like, that beer was actually cheaper than your domestics, right? Than your Coors and Bud Light and stuff like that. So it was solid. It was good stuff, man. It was really, really good stuff out there at the Savannah Bananas game, and they had some good. Had some great people in there, man. They had Adam Thielen from Carolina Panthers. He came out. Andy Dalton. The night before, I mean, our guys were out there. Xavier Legette, J.C. Horn. I mean, they were out there having a blast. So I would say I give Clemson a lot of flack from this. I do. I give them a lot of slack. But the thing about it, I would not mind seeing them in Columbia, especially if it brings money in. I'm not going to lie. I would like to see that. I still think that what we did having Liverpool and Manchester United, even though it was quote unquote an exhibition match, was still a way cooler thing to do than what Clemson did by bringing the Savannah Bananas and trying to compare the two. It just doesn't really, that dog doesn't hunt, if you will. But Q, we got you back. We'll go ahead and let's get into football. It was a big weekend for Gamecock football. Before we do that, though, let's get a break in, and we'll be right back. Your Wi-Fi just crashed, didn't it?
Yeah, it just crashed, but it was cool. Made it work. Made it happen.
Made it work. Made it happen. All right, give it 5 seconds. In 5, 4, 3, 2,
you can hear me well?
Yeah, you're good.
Right.
And 1. All right, guys. Football, big weekend for Gamecock football. As South Carolina received 3 commits, and obviously left an impression on many. But before we get into what happened this weekend, on our side of things, I want to talk about what happened this weekend on other official visits. Okay. I tuned in to Travis Johnson's official visit up at Penn State, and I got to tell you, it was a joke.
Not better than ours.
No.
It was not better than ours.
No, not from the aesthetics, not from the things that we saw, right? Not from the media department, things of that nature. South Carolina set the bar, and some of these schools, like Penn State, not going to be able to hold up to what South Carolina did. I mean, they still had like the old backdrop that South Carolina did back, a year ago.
For sure.
Their
sure.
media, their settings of video that they had was very corny. I mean, I'm telling you, man, like South Carolina, they set that official visit early and they nailed it. And by doing
And
that, you set those expectations high. You
I
made them
think
high.
and I do think with Johnson, I think is once again it's going to come down to relationships, that depth chart, all those different things. And Johnson knows he sees complete playing time right here, right now.
Yeah.
He knows what it is. That playing time is right there. So
Mhm.
I beg to say, like, hey man, this could turn out really well for us. I think we still got a couple visits that he's gonna have to take. We're gonna have to fight through. We're gonna have a couple things we're gonna have to work through. But I am, hey man, Penn State I don't think is gonna be where it needs to be. I don't think so.
I have to agree. I mean, it's just amazing to me. And shout out
Hmm.
to the creative media staff. Shout out to Shane Beamer and the rest of the staff over there that created this kind of environment. Because watching Penn State try to, reciprocate or try to even come close to doing what South Carolina did was a joke. I mean, it was awful. It
But it
was
also goes
truly
back to
was.
it goes back to authenticity. If you're
Absolutely.
authentic, it shows, and that's what we've started to see. That's what we've been seeing. That's what you will continue to see when it comes to these official visits. Even with the ones we have now, a lot of this is so authentic. Um,
Hmm.
that which we're going to get to with the three commits that we have. Which one was revealed as the one of the commits from May that Beamer put the welcome home out for.
Hmm.
So that was good. I mean, he was definitely one of the guys we had an inkling about. Another guy that we had an inkling about, has taken his official visit. But I'm going to get into that a little bit later. A recap on the visits that we had. Once again, we had a really star-studded lineup that came out there this weekend, and that I was very, very pleased about. Extremely, extremely pleased about. Um, and so I want to make sure I go over this with you guys again, because once again, this is why this is important that I'm going over this specifically with you all. This this group and what this group can bring to the table is huge. I want y'all to understand that this specific group is very, 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 very pivotal, in my opinion, of what this group can or what can take place. So you had Zion Gillis, Noah Clark, Kamari Blair, Andrew and Aiden Harris, Keenan Britt, uh, Joel Combe, and Kosi, Kasi Barnes. It's either Kosi or Kasi Barnes. Sorry if we butchered that. So I will say this, and I mean this with my whole heart. If we push for Barnes, we will get Barnes. 110%. That is all about him taking his visits. If we push, we can get Barnes. Britt locked down his commitment, which is the second time he's told y'all like he has shut this thing down, which is huge. A
Hmm.
move that was made this weekend. Let me explain something to you, and I mean this. It could not have gone any better for Kamari Blair. It could not have gone any better. Anyone that will tell you that knows will tell you this could not have gone any better for Kamari Blair. And I'm saying that because Kamari has looked for the fit and looked for the camaraderie, and we have provided that. It's honestly going to come down to us in Tennessee when it comes to him. And it's
Yeah.
also going to come down to what visits he ends up finishing up and taking, because there's a chance he could cancel a lot of visits and just go ahead and commit.
Yeah. Yeah. I
His
mean,
family
good.
loves it here. He loves Teasley. He loves Survey. I'm telling y'all that is one to watch. That is one to watch. Noah Clark is also one to watch. And I'm telling y'all this because it may not be now that you want to, you know, take 110% of your time and, this is I'm putting my focus in on this. But I watch for Dave Dorian's job. I think that's going to play a pivotal role in this recruitment.
Hmm.
Can Dave Dorian keep his job? And the only way I can see Dave Dorian keeping his job is an 8 or 9 win season. And
Yeah.
to be honest with you, he does not have the horses to do that.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
I agree.
So there's that with them. Now going to the commits, of course, the Harris brothers committed, and that was something we saw coming. I sent a, if you remember, FG, I put a encrypted text in the group chat, like I think about an hour before they committed, and I said, "Man, things are going really good." There's a reason why it was going really
You're
good.
muted.
Okay, you hear me? Can y'all hear me? Can you hear me, FG? Can you hear me? It is storming here, so that may be it. If y'all can, I wonder if y'all can hear me. Y'all let me know in the chat if y'all can hear me. Because that may be it too. Well, while we're working on that, um, but yes, like I was saying, there's three commits. The Harris brothers are two of the commits. Harris brothers are, to me, two of the biggest gets that we've gotten because that was a battle that we had to fight big time for. That was a big time get for Shane because of what was going on as far as them in Ohio State. Ohio State was one that they looked at very toughly and thinking they were going to win that battle hands down. It was one of those things, no holds bar. And so we were able to jump in and we were able to do what we needed to do. I was happy. I was happy we were able to jump in and do what we need to do on that. Um, so that was one of our biggest things right there was that battle. Uh, with the both the brothers, you have a linebacker in Andrew Harris who's going to be huge for us. His potential is through the roof. And then you have the battle with Aiden, who Aiden should. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't foresee Aiden not playing his freshman year. Like he is literally the TJ Sanders mode. He's got more tools in his bag than TJ did when he came in freshman year. You're looking at really like a sophomore year TJ, redshirt sophomore year TJ that's walking in the door as a freshman. You you have a lot that's on the table right there. I'm big on what's going on with the Harris brothers. Andrew Harris will surprise you all. I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all know that now. There's going to be some spots left there, and I think Andrew Harris is going to surprise a lot of you guys. And so I think that's going to be huge for us. I think that's going to be huge for what we're trying to do. I think that's going to be huge for that linebacker room, especially with the guys we already inserted into that linebacker room. Andrew's going to fit right into there. And then, of course, the last but God not least, we finally got into Alabama. B Ham, here we come. KJ was huge, guys. I cannot express this enough. And his rankings are going to reveal how huge this was. He's going to probably make the same jump Vakari Swain made throughout his senior year. If everybody remembers back to Vakari Swain's senior year, Vakari ended up top 50 on three by the time it was all said and done. And folks, this guy has that skill set. He is very, very, very versatile, extremely versatile. He can play safety. He can also play corner, which to me means he has the ability to play that nickel position. The more guys we can get in for that nickel position, the better off that 5-man rotation will be. Because to me, I want to get to the point where we're able to rotate in as well at that DB position across the board. And so I'm very excited. I'm very intrigued by that. So with those three guys, we got some huge commits this year. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I'm not going to flex with you. This class is coming together beautifully. And there's a lot on the table. There's still a lot of meat on the bone. I mean, Carter Meadows is still out there. Adams is still out there. Johnson, as FG mentioned before, Johnson is still out there. Landon Duckworth is still out there, who had an incredible visit.
Mhm.
Incredible visit. Noah Clark is still out there. Samari Matthews is still out there. Watkins is still out there. There's a lot on the table. Darius Gray is still out there. Now, I will say this. I'm going to come to the table very, very, very strong next week. It won't be this week, but it will be next week, because next week's visits, the weekend of the 20th, can literally make or break this recruiting class.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Oh yeah.
you have This is the biggest part of it. The Texas visit is the week before, so they're going to Texas. You have Currents going out there. You have Samari going out there, and they return to South Carolina for that last visit. Darius Gray has got to get to this visit. We have to
Mhm.
get to this visit with Darius.
Yep.
There's a lot riding on these visits, y'all. That's the end all be all. That's all I can break it down to you for. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you, but it is one of those situations, one of those things. We have to get to that point. We have to get to that point with those guys. Desmond Green will be interesting to see what happens. Riley, we lead for. Aiken, I think we lead for as well. But a fight will be had when it comes to those big time recruitments, especially with Samari, with Darius, uh, with Tamarian Watkins. All of
Yeah.
those are pivotal for us. And I'm going to break those down for you guys. And there's could be some more that come in on the 20th. I'm hearing that there's a couple people that are really interested and intrigued in coming in because they're seeing how this class is forming. So I'm intrigued to see how that one plays out as well. So let's just keep your eyes open for that. But right now we're in a good spot. We've moved up to about a top 15 class, if I'm not mistaken, in on three. I don't really care what 247 has to say. On three is pretty accurate on what we're going on. With a 90 overall, class grade. And that's a big thing too, because if you can average about a 90 to a 92, that's a pretty playoff contender class. Like that class is pretty helpful when it comes to playoff contention. So let's see what we can get done. And I want to see how if we can survive some of these other visits with our people going first. I'm intrigued to see how those play out as well. So let's keep the faith, guys. Let's just keep the faith. Let's keep the faith with that. So
Well, I'd say with South Carolina, there's a couple of things that needs to be looked at when it comes, it comes to the recruiting that they've done recently, and obviously the Harris Twins where you all start, right? And with Harris Twins, you put Ohio State in the locker to get the Harris Twins. You really did. A lot of people don't talk about it enough, but it needs to be said. South Carolina once again conquers Ohio State when it comes to getting somebody that they wanted. Aiden Harris was a priority
hmm
for Ohio State, and quite
hmm
simply, they didn't do enough to finish the deal,
and don't let them lie
and
to
it
you
needs to
either.
be talked about.
Don't let them lie to you either.
Oh, absolutely! Don't let them lie to you. Don't let them tell you anything otherwise. That's the thing about it. And when you talk about Samari Smoke Matthews, the thing about Matthews is that Xavier Currents has been everywhere that he's gone, right? This past weekend, Currents and Smoke were together in Florida State, in Tallahassee at that visit. And guess what happened? Currents, he's not leaving South Carolina. We told you know about this. If you listen to the show, you listen to the interview with Currents, he's told you. He's told you where home is, but he said he's going to go on these visits. So now, the fact of the matter is, you've got Smoke and Currents together on this visit. Now you're going to have together on that visit to Texas. Just saying, I like South Carolina's odds there. I mean, you kind of read between the papers there, and read the tea leaves, guys. That's all I'm
everything
saying.
everything goes back to exactly what we talked to you guys about before. The distance from home is huge, and
Mm,
it becomes a big factor when it comes to these two guys. Texas came in and offered, and you know why Texas came in here. They want
yeah.
Kearns because they've seen something that we've been seeing. Kearns is that
Yep.
guy when it comes to safety. He's
Yep.
him. He's him. He's him. So therefore, and you're looking at the same pairing Nick E and DQ did coming in with Currents and with Watkins. That's the
Hmm.
same type of pairing. That's the same type of situation. And so getting Watkins in the fold, but getting Samari in the fold as well. Because once again, Samari commits on August 10th. We have been in this grind for a long time, guys. The 10th is gonna come soon, and I feel really good where we are right there when we get there. Because one
Yeah.
thing we don't have to worry about, Samari can come visit any time after that. That's just a hop and a skip for him down the
Mm-hmm.
street. And once again,
Yeah.
guys, this is something that you gotta do. The same thing with Darius Gray. It's the same thing with Darius Gray. You just gotta fight through these battles. You guys wanted big time recruits. You gotta play big boy battles. No matter how y'all want to put this, in order to get big time recruits, you got to get in big boy battles, and that's what we're gonna do. We've been in them, we've won them, and we're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep grinding on it. So let's get it.
And I think some people need to look at the rankings and recruiting rankings and really look into them. Okay, South Carolina right now in the on 3 rankings, that's who we look at. You know, they're right now they're 14, right? They were 13 earlier, now they're 14, but that's with 8 commits. Okay, that's with 8 commits. If you look at further, Penn State is at 12, and they have 19 commits right now. 19. I mean, they're about done, and they're sitting with the 12th ranked recruiting class. Okay, Texas, they have 12. Okay, Miami, they have 11. They're ranked number 9. Clemson's got 18, and they're ranked number 7. So the numbers are obviously going to matter at some point. You know, for South Carolina to have 8 kids committed and be ranked in the top 15, I think that means something.
That means something. It means something.
Because you don't have, I mean, outside of LSU that has 2 5-stars committed to the program, there's not a top program out there that is killing it because with having less numbers. It's not. You could look at it. Yeah. I mean, Alabama's up there, but they've also had multiple guys, committed in the higher ends. 4 stars, 1 5-star, 4 5-stars. I mean, I'm just saying where South Carolina's sitting right now is a great position. And when it's all said and done, I don't see them. They absolutely do. I mean, they could be in a top 10, top 15 spot when it's all said and done. I'm just
I
saying.
can see a top 10 class. If we get some of these guys that are visiting, that are coming along, we have a chance. You have a strong chance for that top 10 class. You have a chance. And I just want to see if we can make it there. Let's see what we can do.
I think they can. I mean, I really do. I think they can. Talking more about Landon Duckworth's visit, Aaron Norris. Aaron Norris. I called him Aaron Norris, man. Good Lord. Aaron Nolan, a guy that, went to the same high school, as him. And you saw these two connect really well with him and Shula. And there's a lot of love there. And I think that South Carolina did exactly what they needed to do on this visit and more to solidify who they are with Landon Duckworth, who they've been with Landon Duckworth, and why South Carolina is the obvious choice. Obviously, there's rumbling sayings between South Carolina and Auburn, but with Deuce Knight going to Auburn, I don't see that being a thing. I just don't. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't think it matters.
I don't think it matters. Yeah. Auburn's visit was before ours. I don't see Landon really going out there. He may go to Ole Miss. We'll see what happens after that point of it. But beyond that, I'm good. I feel really good about where we went. LaNorris was involved in the recruitment this weekend. He was involved in the official visit. You had Aaron Nolan involved in it. Cutter Woods was involved in the situation. You have a lot of different things that help out a lot with that, and I'm excited and intrigued to see how that plays out.
Yeah, I mean, likewise. I mean, And there's other stuff, man, that's going to be coming soon. I mean, that last week is massive, obviously, with these OVs. I mean, just a huge week.
Also, with Noah Clark, there's a strong chance Noah Clark visits on the 19th of June as well.
That'd be good.
So, take with that as you will. So, if he does show up on the 19th of June, that should kind of indicate to you where he is for an unofficial. So, let's see what happens with that. Let's see how that plays out as well. So, like I said, I think Noah Clark paired with Aiden Harris will be huge for this D tackle class. And I want some apologies for T-Rob.
Oh,
I want some apologies for T-Rob. I would like for some people, one of them being Sin. Sin needs to apologize. Sin is one of the apologies that need to happen. So we're gonna be looking live for Sin to come on and apologize for that. There's a couple of you on Twitter that for a fact you owe T-Rob an apology. So I hope you guys are ready to apologize to T-Rob because he did amazing work. And guess what else helped? The connection, because T-Rob is from North Carolina as well. But you know what?
Hmm.
I'm gonna leave all that for another day. I just want y'all to understand where I stand with the situation, and I expect some apologies.
Yeah, I mean, look, Travian Robertson, as y'all know, I mean, when I covered, the Senior Bowl in Mobile, and I'm going to bring it up all the time, but when TJ Sanders, Kyle Kennard, those guys, I mean, when they're telling you the development that they received from South Carolina and what Travian Robertson is doing, it says a lot. I mean, you're looking at multiple second round guys that went this year in the draft that are absolutely going to be starters next year, man. It's
Hmm.
like, I don't know what else you need to know. I mean, need to hear. Dylan Stewart has even said like the development by Travian Robertson, the things that he's done, and now you're getting recruiting side of things that you're landing,
That's
possibly
all it
landing a
takes.
Noah Clark, right? Landing a
That's
Noah
all it
Aiden
takes.
Harris.
That's
I
all it
mean, good
takes.
lord.
I'm telling you. And I think there's going to be another D tackle they look at in the high school ranks to bring in. But you also pairing them with Ingram. You're pairing them with Caleb Williams. Like,
Hmm.
man, the talent that is going in that room, man, you can't buy that. And so that's why I say everybody doesn't need to be elite. I'm gonna say this again, and I mean this from my whole heart. Everybody doesn't need to be an elite recruiter, but everybody needs to know how to develop. And that's one thing T Rob knows how to do is develop. I ain't asking him to move mountains or nothing. Whoever he brings in that room, I believe will be developed. And that's what matters.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Q talking about these, those final OVs on June 20th. I mean, there's some big names out there, man. I mean, big names. Darius Gray, obviously, you already talked about that. Samari Matthews, bringing currency back. Those two coming together. Wingo, I'm interested in. Wingo, that one. T. Riley, Orangeburg, right? The tight end out of prep school over there.
I don't think
Desmond
Ringo's.
Green.
I still don't think he's gonna come. I don't
We'll
think
see.
so. I think
Yeah,
Florida's
I
done what they need to do. I think that
yeah,
one's more of a Florida Miami situation.
right.
Honestly, the top of our board right now is Johnson out of Virginia. That's the top
Yeah,
of our board.
yeah, yeah.
We just also offered in-state kid, and so we have others. And I think that recruitment, wow, if he does take the visit, that would be intriguing because I want to see how that plays out. But um, I don't see him taking the visit. But I think Riley's going to wrap things up. I think that's another one that's going to wrap things up pretty quickly. And we're gonna go ahead and get that one done too as well.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. Trey Aiken, offensive lineman out of Clinton,
I am,
South Carolina.
yeah. I'm gonna have,
Gonna
like I
be
said,
one to
I'm gonna have
watch.
more on those guys the next couple. Well, not this week, but next week I'll definitely have a lot to say about that group because I want you guys to understand and know how important that group is gonna be and how important that group means to this recruiting cycle and to the what Shane is wanting to do. Like I
Yeah,
can't express that enough. Shane, the way Shane is going with us going to a 16 team playoff, with us moving the way we're moving, I think this will be good to go along with. So I'm excited.
yeah, yeah. Likewise, and Q leading up to that week, man, which is going to be big in Columbia. I mean, if you're in Columbia, South Carolina, you live in South Carolina, you need to be in Columbia, South Carolina that weekend. A lot of things are going on. One of them, I'll go ahead and start off. It's at CB18 on Saturday from 4 to 8 is the wing contest.
Hmm.
For those who weren't out there last year, it was a huge event, man. Lenore Sellers came out to be there for his guys. Obviously, Colin Murray Boyles, all the different basketball players out there, Zach Davis. But of course, on the football side of things, your whole offensive line was out there. Your whole offensive line was out there trying to win this wing contest. You had some baseball guys out there that are no longer with the program, but still, I mean, it is such a big event, and you want to be out there. I'm telling you, at CB18 from 4 to 8. Gamecock fans, I'm talking to you. You listen to me. It's not. You don't have to be an adult to go to these things, man. It's just like you bring your kids. It's a family event. It's family friendly. It's a great time. So I'm telling you, come on out to CB18 from 4 to 8. We're going to be one of the sponsors out there. You don't want to miss out what we're giving away. It's going to be a great item there. Especially for my baseball enthusiast. It's fun, and there's a lot of great, like I said, sponsors out there. Kid, there's a lot of sponsors out there that are going to be part of this raffle. So you want to be there for it, man. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
You
and
want to
like
be
I
out
said,
there.
I'm working my way. We're trying to figure some things out, but if I can get everything figured out, some things done, yeah, there's a good chance you'll see old Q Mac out there. It's a good chance you'll see old Q Mac out there because it's a big weekend. It's a big weekend. Period. It's official visit weekend.
It
It's a
is.
big weekend. We've been talked. People have contacted us and said, "Hey, we really need you guys out there." So um, we're trying to make things shake. I know for a fact FG will be out there, but
Yeah.
there's a chance that old Q Mac will, pull up with his hat on, J's on, with his chain on, ready to rock, man, ready to go to work because this is important. This is big. This is big. It's just big, and it's all hands on deck, man. It's all hands on deck. It's all hands
Yeah.
on deck. So
Yeah. And it all starts off June 20th, out there at the Cola Craft, Columbia Craft out there at the brewery. They're going to have what they call a summer bash. And so basically in the description it said they're kick off the summer with an evening of fun, food, and Gamecock spirit. Enjoy inflatables, a dunk tank, Cocky's appearance. He's going to be out there, autograph sessions with select Gamecock student athletes, food trucks, beverages, and more. So that's another thing. And it's a free event. Both events are free, guys. I'm telling you
yeah,
this. And it's worth it. It's
well worth
worth
it.
it.
Well worth it.
Absolutely is.
Well worth it. And I think you guys got to understand, man. These guys have got to be around. These recruits need to see that Columbia is live and well, so they know that the people are out there. So it's our job. That's our job. That's our duty to do that part. So
Hmm.
so yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm telling you, man. Make yourself available. Make yourself available. It's a huge weekend for Gamecock athletics. So make
Hmm.
yourself available. I'm
I
telling
agree.
you.
I agree.
I'm telling you. If you don't have plans now, go ahead. Just put that in this
Hmm.
calendar. Hey, I'm
And
going
you'd
to
be good to
be
go.
at Cola Craft on Friday, and then Saturday be
Hmm.
at CB18 from 4 to 8 over there.
There we go.
And
There we
for
go.
those who don't know, CB18 that is in 5 Points, right
Hmm.
off Divine Street, right there. You can't miss it.
Hmm.
It's on the right. Steve Taney Hill, Art, and all that good stuff. So you can't miss it. Can't miss it. Q, we don't have official visits this week, but in void of that, we do have a special guest joining us Thursday night on the Welcome Home podcast. Go ahead, tell everybody who that's going to be.
The legend himself, Parker White, will be joining us on Thursday. The kicker of the century. That guy will make a field goal if your life depended on it, my life, anyone's life depended on it. He's going to make the field goal. And I'm looking forward to having him on because there's a lot I want to talk to him about. A lot I want to talk to him about because he made a lot of important field goals. And
Mm,
also getting the perspective of his from the transitional time periods that he got to see. So I'm intrigued to see Parker. I'm excited because I haven't seen Parker in a long time, and it's good. It's gonna be good to talk to him. So I'm excited for that, man. I'm excited for that. And we got some more guys I've been working on behind the scenes, trying to get lined up, especially for July, because July is gonna lag between July and August, getting to the actual game of August 31st. We're gonna try and make sure we keep that going. Um, and get those people in here so you can hear what's going on behind the scenes at practice, and also all different things. We're trying to get the coach. I want to know what coach is thinking. So we're working on everything. So you guys just keep your head up, and we're gonna keep grinding.
yeah, absolutely. And obviously, as most of y'all know, the NCAA a ruling has been changed for the NCAA. If you care about those kind of things, and I think everybody does. And we'll talk, to Parker more about these things because it's important. I mean, it is very important, right? And for those who don't know, if you've been living under a rock, let me just go through it real quick. Judge Claudia Wilkin officially approved the landmark House versus NCAA settlement, paving the way for revenue sharing and new roster limits across college athletics. That is significant. Some of the things that affect Parker White and guys from 2016 to 2014 that played ball. Well, there's going to be a total of 2.8 billion that will be paid to former athletes. I don't know how that's going to be cut up, but Parker's going to join the show and talk more about how all that goes. And of course, now NIL is different as well. Athletes are required to report all third-party NIL deals exceeding $600, and schools can now facilitate these agreements directly. So that is going to increase institutional involvement in athlete compensation. So we'll
Yeah,
see how all that plays out. So Q, that's going to be a great guest to have on the show on Thursday
facts.
night.
I think it's big. I think it's big. So okay, yeah. But we got a lot going on, guys. So prepare yourselves. Prepare
Yeah,
yourselves.
get ready. Gotta get ready because it's continuing to move. It's continuing to move. And shout out to Dawn Staley, man, for taking time out of her weekend to spend it with with our recruits, with our commits on campus. By the way, man, in football,
It's
she
huge.
didn't have to do that. She didn't have to do that.
She's a team player, bro. I've always told
Mhm.
people one thing about Dawn, she's a team player. So I'm glad she was able to help out.
Yeah, yeah, likewise. And one last thing before we end this episode, I highly recommend you to go check out those OV picks from these official visits. Man, they're funny,
Yeah.
funny. They're awesome. You could just you can feel the. I mean, you can feel the emotions, right?
Yeah.
You can feel the emotions in these pictures, you know.
Agree.
And you gotta love the setup that they came up with. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
really
really
good stuff.
awesome. It really, really is. But Q, you have anything else before we wrap it up, my guy?
Nah, see you guys Thursday.
That's it, man. Well, guys, we appreciate everybody tuning in live over here at Famously Garnet to the Welcome On podcast on Facebook, X, YouTube. Always, tuning in live. We appreciate everybody listening at the Welcome H Pod. Believe in the WH Pod on Apple and Spotify. We appreciate you guys truly, man. Being able to be the official voice for South Carolina on the Believe Network has been a blessing, and we continue to have fun with it, man. We really do. So we appreciate everybody tuning in, rate, review the show, download these episodes. I mean, we can't do it without you guys. We really can't. And make sure you follow
download.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure you follow the new Twitter account at Believe in the WH Pod. That is at Believe in the WH Pod on Twitter, just so we can grow that following, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. But guys, we will see you next time.
Peace.